Hello, everyone. This is Silk. We are doing a sort of a strategic, tactical kind of recap for Operation Dark Horizons. This is the end of turn 9. I just wanted to kind of go over a little bit of the state of the game. As I kind of noted in my intro, this is a very, very different game than what most G36 games are going to be like. The Allies have a very, very large lead, as outlined here. They are at 9 victory points currently. The Axis are at 4. The Comintern are at 3. So one faction has more than the other two factions combined, and which is actually pretty normal. It's just usually that the Axis have the high amount, and the Allies and the Soviets kind of drag them back down, and then you have kind of a flurry at the end. But in this situation, it's somewhat just the opposite. The Allies have the big lead, and you're going to see the Axis and the Comintern working together to try to kind of bring that back down to earth, and then you'll probably see a flurry for points at the end. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. This is very, very uncharted territory as far as I'm concerned here. So, quick kind of review on the board there. Interesting enough, the only factions to have 8 techs completed are the Axis here through 9 turns. Bit of a surprise there. Dice are dice, so that's kind of what that is. But you'll see the British have a pretty nice set at stage 2, and the Americans have a very large set at stage 2. So that's likely to change pretty quickly here as we get going. As for the board state, kind of as is the victory point state, the Allies have a pretty dominant position cash-wise. Um, they're still holding just strong there. They have all of Africa has been recovered due to the power of France there. The FEC has nearly all of their territories. They've just lost the little bit there from Hong Kong and Sarawak. Um, Anzac, however, is gone. That is the one big accomplishment there for the Axis. They've knocked out Anzac. They have surrendered, and I don't believe are coming back. I don't think they can get resurrected. So you're not going to see an Anzac power again. I do think they can retake Sydney, but I'm not sure that resurrects the Anzac as a faction. May have to check that later. Um, so just kind of a situation of what's going on. The Germans did do a naval fight here, but it didn't go real great for them. Certainly not as well as they would have liked. So you've got the Brits and Americans have kind of combined their fleet off the coast. They've got more than enough guys to launch an invasion here, so that's going to keep the Germans on their toes. Um, but the Germans still have a large air force, which is going to keep the Brits on the toes because their air force is currently just the two fighters between America and England. Meanwhile, America's prepping its invasion force over here, and then in the Pacific, you can see the Americas kind of just consolidating. They've got their main battle fleet off of Hawaii. Probably going to move some units, I would expect, to Midway, and they may try to threaten Japan here directly in the near future, just because the Japanese task force is all the way down, cleaning up what was Anzac. But that's all done. So I expect you're going to see Japan on the move. They may come up to Caroline. They may go to Palau. They may go to Marshall. Who knows? There's quite a few options of where this fleet's going to end up, and it'll kind of where it goes. The Allies will have to redirect there. KMT looks to be in a pretty strong position in China. This is not a hey, we're going to evolve yet, but it's definitely well going for them. Not sure what the Comintern is going to do about that just yet, but it is something to kind of keep an eye on and see how that goes. Comintern are in the a little bit into the Mid East. I would not be surprised if they wouldn't take out Iran here. That's a pretty weak Iran, and they've got probably more than enough once you count this fighter hanging up here. So wouldn't surprise to see that fall. Certainly, I would expect you're going to see Finland fall here in the near future. Um, it's a small fleet for the Soviets, but they do still have a fleet intact. So with a little bit of effort, they could build that up again and maybe uh, cause some problems for the British over here. We'll see what they do. The British Germans meanwhile lost 2 submarines and their battle cruiser all the way down here. So the Germans are still very much on the back foot. Meanwhile, in the Mediterranean, it's just kind of a big stuck. This fleet here off of Egypt is just huge in power, and Italy's got a pretty decent fleet in size, but it's also still not quite what they need there, and that's why you can kind of see the standoff emerge there. And that's really about it as far as just kind of wanted touch base with everybody, kind of do a recap of where everything's at, and I'll see you again when we do 10.1.